Welcome back to the Great Yarmouth Pleasure Beach YouTube channel. This video is definitely going to make your stomach drop. When you arrive at the park, there's always a ride that will catch your attention, and that is the whopping Great Big Blue roller coaster, also known as the Scenic Railway or the Scenic. The roller coaster we have here at the Pleasure Beach is a wooden one. It's one of only 2 scenic railways still in operation in the UK and one of only 8 in the world. In May 1932, the roller coaster was opened to the public, and the ride's now the most popular attraction at the Pleasure Beach. Its popularity is largely due to its uniqueness. Part of the music video for the 1982 single House of Fun by Madness was filmed at the Pleasure Beach, with the band seen riding on the roller coaster. How crazy is that? The ride's superstructure is entirely timber, mainly fir and pine, and it's clad in steel sheets. It measures around 140 metres by 30 metres, or 460 feet by 100 feet. The highest point of the track is 21 metres, and the track length is 982.40 metres to be exact. The actual track is wooden, and the running rails are in a trough with walkways either side. To tell you more about how the ride works, I spoke to an operator who has to control the roller coaster in a historic way.
I'm Jordan. I've been at the Pleasure Beach 5 years in total. This is my 4th season now starting of being on the roller coaster as an operator itself. It's a joy to actually operate it in touch, but to start with I was quite sceptical. But then for me as a person, that was due to, obviously, when you're going round, you've got so many people's lives in your hand as such. But then once I got past that, it's quite a thrilling and enjoyable ride to actually operate. It's for the safety side of things. You've got to be able to maintain contact with the train at all times through the lookout post that we have. And then once you've done that, you then go through a fair few days, potentially even weeks, on the train itself, of going around with someone who's passed out, to then be able to get the braking points down to the correct point, be able to judge the speed of the train and all that constantly. And that's definitely one of the favourites in the park. I mean, I've had people that have come on here that have been to the likes of Alton Towers and that. They've also been to Blackpool's Pleasure Beach. They've always said that this is one of the best ones that they've gone on, and that, again, because of how old it is and how unique it is with the hand-operated brake, there's always going to be that piece of history with it, which gives the feedback a lot more encouragement. Yeah, well, obviously when you come up to the brake points that there's 4 main ones. First one is obviously being the chainless. But then when you come up to it, it's pulling the lever, use the lever and your feet at the same time, apply the brake, get it down to the slow enough speed that you need to get it to be able to hit the points you need. And then to release it, feet off, and release the brake back to where it is in its natural position.
So yeah, just tell us a little bit about your favourite parts of the track where you can sort of get the most speed and attacking.
Yeah, well, most speed is, the biggest point of that is for the big dip.
Yeah.
Obviously that's the fastest point at the track, because it's the biggest dip, and then obviously you carry the most speed for the rest of the track. Another favourite part of mine is the bunny hops, as we all call it, but it's the 2 double dips after the big dip. That's to me, that's the most thrilling side of it, because it's 2 quick ones in quick succession that, if the speed's going quick enough, can lift you out your seat slightly.
Any parts of the track that are problematic to sort of navigate?
Problematic side, you've got, again, just after the big dip on the top turn, as we call it. Obviously, if it's been raining or cars are going slow, it has the potential to get stuck around that area, because it is the slowest point on the track if it's not the right weather conditions. You've also got the home turn is another one, which is one of the last bits. again, weather conditions wise, can be very problematic.
Has anything ever gone wrong whilst you've been operating the coaster during the time of Pleasure Beach?
I personally have had it once where due to the weather conditions being that interchangeable, we had that much rain that it then dried up and it made the track that slow that the car actually stopped, and that was around the top turn after the big dip.
So what happens when the car stops then? How do you recover it?
To recover it, obviously from my side being on the train, it's make sure all the customers stay seated, stay calm. It's sent down to the guy that we have on the lookout to alert the maintenance team. They'll then come up to wherever on the track it is. In my case, on the top of the big dip, they'll push it around to be able to get it to start moving again, to unwedge it.
How does the maintenance team get up to wherever the coaster has potentially stopped?
Depending on where on the track, some parts are a lot easier to get to, but in my case of the big dip, they had to more or less walk up the big dip itself to be able to get round to where the train was stopped. If it does get stuck just after the incline, for instance, that's a lot easier for them to get to.
When people ask you about your occupation in the past, what do you say?
Well, that's always a good topic. I mean, I quite enjoy it here, so for me it's not a big deal to say that I work at the Pleasure Beach, I operate the rides, especially when you've got something like the roller coaster which has got a piece of history.
How many rides can you get on one car?
Pre-COVID restriction-wise, when all the seats are open and you can have 2 per seat, and then the max capacity per train would be 30. Under the restrictions, obviously reduced capacity with half the seats that are open, which enables up to 16 people if you get 2 in a seat. It's every other seat that's open to try and maintain a safe distance between each set of customers. When the park's quiet, we operate with 1 car on the track, again still with every other seat open during the current restrictions, or pre-COVID it was maximum of the 30 on the seats.
How about a sell-out session? What would be the
Sell-out session, that's quite a hectic one for us as an operator on the actual break itself, because it's a constant flow, because we have 2 cars out on the track, got safe points release, which is as 1 car's going up the incline, the second one's then being sent out to go through to the chain. Again, that's still every other seat is open, and the current conditions, which is 16 per car. Pre-COVID would be a maximum of 30, which is obviously a lot more people going through, but that's still released at the same point for the safety side of things.
Now you know how the ride operates and how it looks from the outside, I think it's time I showed you the inside. Let's go behind the scenes.
Can you just introduce yourself for us?
Yeah, my name's Lee.
How long have you been with us, Lee?
I've been here for 5 years now, just over 5 years.
Okay. So obviously, the roller coaster takes a lot of maintenance throughout the year. Can you talk us sort of when the park closes, what you have to do year on year to keep the roller coaster going?
Obviously throughout the year when the park's open, the track is walked every time before you send the car around or any public around, and then once a week the maintenance crew will go around and assess all the uprights and the structure of the actual roller coaster itself, and if any repairs are needed, they'll be done straight away.
So Lee, can you tell us about the winter maintenance you have to do sort of between November and March?
During the summer, our assessments of the ride, we'll make a decision and we'll strip and repair or replace certain areas of the roller coaster, and that, it could be large areas, as long as we can get it completed in the time. But obviously health and safety first, so everything gets done that needs to be done. We have a stock actually here we purchase throughout the season, but anything that we need in large quantities we'll acquire from local distributors.
Okay, so as you can see, we're here on the structure of the roller coaster in Great Yarmouth, and Lee's going to tell us a little bit about the structure itself, and as you can see there's some steel uprights as well. So tell us a little bit about that, Lee, please.
Yeah, so The whole roller coaster itself is actually freestanding and it's just sat on the floor, so it's not fixed to the ground in any way. It's over-engineered in such a way that you can actually take out every other upright out, but that's how we've kept it, that's how it was built originally, so that's how we maintain it. The steel structure was fitted after some heavy winds in the late 60s, early 70s, where this end actually collapsed. So after that was rebuilt, they decided to put in the structure to get extra support.
Lee, can you tell us about if one of the uprights needs replacing? What's the process for that?
Yeah, if we're closed, then obviously we're doing our checks and we see it, and it will get replaced there and then. You know, we don't open anything like that. You know, we literally replace it straight away. We will try and replace the whole area to keep it all the same age.
Are the structural repairs always visible to the maintenance team?
No, we pick up majority of the breakages, but there's obviously some places you can't always see. But the actual brakemen will also notice because they're experienced operators. So when they go around, they can maybe notice a slight little bump in the track, which they'll always tell us straight away, and we'll keep the ride closed until we've assessed it.
So obviously there is a huge amount of history now going with the roller coaster. Can you tell about some news recently in the last couple of years?
Yeah, it's actually now a Grade 2 listed building, so although it's not permanent as such, it is a listed building, so it will be here.
Okay, Lee, can you tell us a little bit about the operations, how the car gets around? Obviously you've got the brake man. What else is there?
Yeah, so the ride is actually gravity, but it's got to get to the top in the first place, which is done from the pull-up. So the brakeman will come from the pit and he'll assess the speed of the chain, and he is the brake to actually slow the car down, to let it roll, to connect with the chain, and then it'll put it to the top and it'll carry on. And there's just one big motor, some pulleys and some belts.
So if you ever need to access the chain to make any repairs or anything, how would you get to that?
Yeah, we have to climb up a pulley and then climb down onto the balcony, and then there's a door we can do maintenance on it.
Wow, I bet you didn't know what really goes into making the roller coaster work. Now, remember to spot that camera and check your photo at the end of your ride. Thank you for watching, and we all really hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to check out more coming to the Great Yarmouth Pleasure Beach YouTube channel. We hope to see you on your visit to the park soon, and don't forget to check out our awesome and historic roller coaster.